Okay, well, we got two rebuttals. We'll let Dr. go first, Mark, because he's closest.
I absolutely believe this is about the community process, and I'd just like to point out, during the last debate, you've actually blocked two on one issue about the community process over at the old colony. So, to me, it's always 100% about the community process. Thank you.
There's a couple things that I just wanted to clarify. I mean, Nick had said he was the only candidate to stand up, against the closing of the Boston Public Library, and I just want to say that's not true. As a matter of fact, I think all the candidates stood together and said, we wanted to keep that library open. I met with the folks down in Old Colony, Susan Lenatus and the folks in the Old Colony Task Force the day that we got that word. I was at other public meetings, so I think all the candidates stood together and said we want to keep that library open. And just one quick thing as well, in regards to the BHA preference, they do certainly provide preference to veterans. They always have, and so I'm not really sure. I don't know if you want to make a chance to clarify what you mean by that, but the BHA has always provided preference to veterans. They continue to do that to this day. So I just felt, it was necessary to point that out. Thank you.
First, just quickly, I stated that, just to clarify, Mark, that I was the first candidate to speak out publicly. Everyone was supportive of it, but I wasn't waiting for the okay. I wasn't waiting for the okay from the powers that be. It was okay to challenge the Boston Public Schools, Boston Public Library system on it. I was at the meeting when they decided to close it. I was the only one there. After the fact, if you support it, I'm glad we're all on board with that. I'm glad we come together as a community, but the community's looking for leadership on these issues. And Patrick. So my request well, first of all, I was the only one to call out the BRA and the BHA on the process while he was silent for about 2 months in the newspaper. So that's the first point. Second, I asked at that meeting, I was not going to follow one of the folks in the crowd who wanted us to sign a piece of paper. I asked for them to sit down at the table within a week, and they did. So I think the community process, though it was flawed, and I advocated for it from the beginning while you were silent, and we didn't necessarily appreciate the result, it was intact by the end. And I stand by that.
I was challenged, so let me make my point very clear here. We're talking about building veterans housing in our neighborhood. The letter of the law states that there is preference to veterans, and then to local residents, and in some cases minorities. Walking through our housing developments in South Boston and Dorchester, I don't believe that is the case. And if we need veterans housing so bad here in South Boston, then we should be enforcing it with the Boston Housing Authority and the rest of the areas. Thank you.